I want you to, well, so I got a, oh my God, my fucking brain. You ready for this?
Hit me.
You know how I mentioned that there was a second dealer?
Mm-hmm.
Well, regardless of how much they're making, how much they're producing, apparently they have not gotten the updated prices because they're pushing bullpups at fucking 42.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah, I tell me about it. So as a consequence, I got off the phone call from SK, and he's like, I can't move any of this shit because people are undercutting it all. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's not possible, right? Because you think that, I don't know, a fucking terrorist organization can keep their fucking puppets in goddamn check, but apparently not.
Yeah.
It was a fucking month ago, this conversation.
Yep. You're not wrong.
So, and the bullpup is at the same level for the heavy.
Yeah.
So, so effectively, the now I'm not going to blame this other plug, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because what do they know, right? But it draws me back to, like, holy fucking shit. So I'm contemplating something very dramatic. And this is the best okay. Oh, you want some other tea? Fucking SMG's about to, should have, or actually have already dropped. Where the fuck is that guy gonna sell in the market?
Yeah,
what is he gonna sell for like 15K? Brother, if you get a bullpup for 42, that puts AKs as in the undesirable category.
Yeah, yeah.
AKs are trash then. Oh my God, bruh. You know the worst of it? Remember 2-3 days ago, I was told the new prices are coming out. The new prices being the higher cost ones.
Right.
Oh my Lord. So anyways, I want to let you know that apparently, because I think that conversation about prices was literally 4 weeks ago. So either that means it's actually one of two things, right? It either means that they didn't pass on the information, right?
Yeah.
Or alternatively, it means the information was passed and this other party is intentionally selling lower. But that's actually just as bad.
I'd argue worse.
That means that they're not controlled. Right?
Exactly.
Now, I can tell you, and this is why I'm sort of leaning at that, because when I brought up that heavies were hitting the street for 45, they were pissed. But now I'm wondering if they actually were pissed.
But what
they
would
seem
be the
very pissed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the point of, let's say, putting two different prices out there makes no sense to me.
No. There is no that they gave. It's not that they had to do. Well, you are correct in that. There was. They have a price list. There's literally a price guide.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of unsure. I don't know. But what I do know is that it screwed over some of the big clients. right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think 2 of them can certainly will withstand it, but the but one of them definitely it hit them too hard, so we're gonna flip them like, I don't know, 20 or 30 heavies. You know what I mean? I think just at cost. I mean, who gives a fuck? I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, it's not like we're sitting on like what, 25 mil?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, have you touched $1 of it? I haven't.
No.
It's just sitting there. So whatever that is, we'll chop it up for them. I think that covers some of their loss, but oh man, that's real shitty, because I think they were doing
it's
some
still unresolved is the part that I can't believe.
Yeah,
I imagine you raised it more than once as well.
I did, yes.
So the fact that it's gone unresolved, it's concerning either way. Whether they were told or not, either of those scenarios is bad. Because either you're being lied to or the other party is being lied to.
I don't think they're lying. I think there's some cooked shit happening. I think that's what the reality is. But so obviously this isn't really our problem, right, to solve, but here's the reality of what we're gonna see is this stuff is still hitting. Oh my god, there's another problem. Used weapons are being resold. And that's dumping the price too.
Yeah.
So I think what's happening is the other plug is likely bending. I think they might. When you have money like we do, we don't care about the profit, right?
Yeah.
Which means it's like a take it or leave it situation. But I take it back, but the besties just bought a bunch of shit. They bought, how much did they pick up?
It's around 100. It might have been over 100. But it was around 100. Yeah.
Something's not right. Something is very fishy. What I suspect is this. I mean, look, let's be honest. We control the materials. We know who's doing what. You know, mix that with the other information I got. We have a pretty good fucking idea, right?
Yep.
Regardless of what we want to put a name to it, even if we're off, we have a pretty fucking good idea. There ain't no way anyone is producing like more than 10% of the market. But we have a China-USA situation.
Yeah.
Where even if that 10% is selling at 50% off, it directly affects everyone else, right?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
And if you're living on nickels and dimes, right? Like even if you got like $1 million in your gang account, you might fear dump. Actually, you know what's a better? It's like China versus US stock market, right? They're dumping the stock market because some motherfucker dumps 10% of their stock for like 30% off. It dumps the entire stock market.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, all you can do is really bring it up again, right? As like you said, it's not your problem to fix.
Well, let's just say that I may have met with somebody, and well, I don't want to go into too much detail, but they're getting prepared for their business, the new line of products.
Okay.
And that poor bastard is going to have such a hard time. He's going to be competing with fucking $42,000 bullpups.
Yeah.
How the fuck? You know, heavies are probably like 10K at least. Where are you going to where the fuck are you going to place the SMGs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, 15K? You'd have to do 15K. Oh my god.
Do we know what the expense is?
No, but I would be willing to wager it's probably a third or a quarter, but the expense is less of the deal. It's So the way to think about it is like this. A heavy pistol can match a heavy rifle in terms of range and per bullet damage, right?
Yeah.
So they're on like a tier, right? The problem with an SMG is it's not going to give you the accuracy and it's not going to give you the range. Right? And it comes with the class 2 penal code charge associated to it. There's a lot of negatives associated with the SMG where that in and of itself drives down the demand of it, right?
Right.
The thing is, the past month, while these prices were meant to, you have to remember, a month ago, we were potentially going to pause all sales.
Right?
I remember. To make way for the SMGs. And the prices were going to go up. Instead, the prices got dumpstered, right?
Yeah.
And so this past 30 days, those guns would have like deteriorated, right?
Yeah.
And so even if we slow down production to make way for the SMGs, if we slow down, the SMGs would have been like a good price point and people would have needed weapons, right? SMGs come in, makes sense.
Yeah.
But now we have dumpstered high volume class 2s on the street. Where the fuck are the SMGs going? I think they'll make a couple sales here and there, but damn, that's going to be difficult as shit.
Yeah.
Part of me is contemplating. I don't know. I need to have another conversation. Our partner is very unreliable. I don't think we can trust anything he says. Not because I think he's conniving. I think, I just don't think things are, we have to assume, how do I put this? What's a good way to put it? It's an unreliable partner, is what I'm saying.
So I was going to say, given the last couple conversations we've had about this, it doesn't seem like they have their thumb on the pulse to the same extent that we do.
Yeah. Then again, maybe the chaos that they're looking for is a different kind of chaos, which is this kind of chaos right here. Fucking poor bastard. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Okay, let me cook here. What if the guy... I can't say this out loud. Let's just say someone fucked up, but then they were rewarded. But what if that reward was actually pain? Where this pain is now you've got a new product that nobody wants and you're going to invest all your time in. Oh my God.
That's sick.
Jesus fucking Christ. Holy fuck. I think that's it.
I guess time will tell.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to let you know that I'm going to set up a pickup as well. What are you thinking? 300? 400? I think we keep it at 300, to be honest.
It's a safe number.
Yeah. I also think that I'm going to... Do I pull a Donald? Do I pull a China and dump? Should we just... I think we should reward everyone with a 50% off sale.
I mean, in light of market conditions, why not?
But I don't want to screw this other guy either.
You think about it. I say 300 and not higher, because I don't know what the material market is going to look like, and that's my concern.
Well, there's a lot more being produced now, right?
Materials?
Yeah.
Because of the
well,
agreement?
I think it's. I don't think it's affected it that much. If I'm going to be honest, I think, realistically speaking, I think it's more of a case of like, how do I put this? It's kind of like, I don't think people that were doing Sani are going to continue doing Sani. More people might introduce in, but based on our sliders, I think it's been about the same. I think at the end of it, what it is I just want to know what the fuck they're planning, because we cannot plan if they don't give us a plan. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's it exactly.
But I do think, like I said, I think we owe it to 3 of these crews that we give them. I need to find out. Look, I just called Flippy, and he said that the bullpups are 42.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and yeah, which are pretty much heavy levels,
right?
Which means the AK market's dead.
yeah, effectively, yeah.
So, like, what are you going to push an AK for? 30,000, 35,000? You'd have to scam people to take the AKs at that price.
But I think
and what I mean by scam is,
we saw the signs of that in that last batch of orders, right? That the ratio had changed from what we were seeing historically. Before
true.
It was predominantly like 80-20, and we were AKs were in some cases lower than the other items that were being ordered. So
that is true. I mean, I kind of chop that up as people might be sitting on the AKs, but AKs are rip.
Yeah.
Let's not bother about it. At the end of the day, not our problem, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So I walk and talk. I gotta hit the hand 7 minutes. I was supposed to go like 5 hours ago. You put your vote in?
I did, yeah. It's gonna be a nail biter. I think it'll be close.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are like... I'd love to... I don't know much about Canadian politics.
The front runners were the conservatives who politically align more with your Democrats from a platform standpoint. But 2 months ago, there was a big swing in the polls after Trudeau stepped down and Trump started opening his mouth saying, Governor of Canada, 51st state. So a lot of the, court of public opinion shifted away from the conservatives, who refused to release a public statement saying, like, don't be calling us the 51st state, respect our sovereignty. Whereas the liberals came out and said that right away. So they won a lot of, I guess, public grace because of their messaging. And that's where you saw a big swing in the polls leading up to today. But like we talked about earlier, you can't put a lot of stock in polls. They're a good random sample, but they are just a random sample.
True. And
paparazzi in this town are fucking lame.
And the thing about polls is they're unreliable.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's you make money by making unreliable polls because it generates headlines.
Mm-hmm. I lost a lot of faith in polls when Trudeau was first elected, because it was predicted to be a pretty close race, and it ended up being this red wave across the country where he won commandingly. So, like I said, it's a random sample at best. It's a good guess, but it's still a guess.
Couple things I want to highlight to you before I get out. The first and foremost what do you call it? Apparently Blaine County moved at least $2.5 million today. Marshals are looking into it. The second is Princess got kidnapped. I wouldn't be surprised if fucking BCSO fucks put a hit out on her.
Jesus.
Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? They've threatened to quit, transfer, whatever. I told Turner there needs to be a 30-day freeze. I will lose my shit if we just start accepting people that are crying and threatening transfers to get their way. I don't want Princess or the future sheriff to have to deal with the dumb shit we saw happen.
Right.
Princess did ask me, oh, what about transfers the other direction? And I said, you know, we'll see about that. I mean, generally speaking, I also don't like the idea that, you know, let's say they pick Peters, that he just starts scooping out. That's just going to create drama, right? Build up a department. Don't turn it into 2.0 by, like, bringing your own clique over either. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, one or two, sure, right? But, you know, if he's bringing an entire squad over, like, because the thing is, Peters is going to have to be an adult in this as well. In that, you know, being in that position is more than just you and your immediate beneficiaries. So what else? I think that's about it, to be honest. All right. Well,
Do you know who she got kidnapped by?
I have no idea.
I'm hoping you're about to say the Saints.
I don't really know where it's going to chop up because I feel like Peters is not necessarily a good loss to the LSPD. I think a lot of people do rely on him to balance Turner.
Yeah.
I also think that McNulty as sheriff is going to not... I mean, I could be wrong, right? But I told this to someone else. Like, I have no like, I was talking to Raya, right? And I've known her from, like, day one of the gates opening back in, right? And she, you know, she's dating Cassidy, and they know each other, and, like, you know, and I'm like, Cassidy was, like, an uncontrolled emotional ball of like, it was like the work. Well, I was gonna say something, but I can't. He just was an emotional wreck, right? And I was like, look, I don't know, I can't just assume he's changed after 6 months, right? He has to show he's changed, right? That's normal. You don't just say, if someone showed a pattern, it's not like one incident. If they've had a pattern of behavior for over 3 months, they lose power, and it's like, oh, they're good now. No, that just means that they can't flaunt their dick as much, right? You have to show that you've changed first. And so I say that when referencing McNulty as a person, he's great, but what is he gonna, you know, do you see him molding a department? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
To me, I see him just going out on patrol, right?
Yeah. Or very surface level administrative decisions.
Right. Which is, I think that was my concern when I heard the roster of individuals who was interviewing for that role, is that...
You want me to hot take, though, real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I think McNulty winning is selfishly better for the LSPD, because even if he may not, I think it's going to be more stable than Peters coming here, because I don't know. Peters leaving would pretty much The best option for BCSO, this is why Moss was so good, especially as an early pick. Didn't work out long term, but it allowed BCSO to create an identity. Peters, while he may do what Princess wants, is likely to just take a culture that's already in LSPD and just imprinting it on the sheriffs up north.
Yeah,
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll have probably Peters, Peach, maybe Carmine, I don't know, type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which we're going to have LSPD. We're not going to have LSPD and BCSO.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I'll say, yeah, I don't know. There's no perfect answer, but
yeah.
Anyways, all right, I'm getting sleep. See you soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
I'll give you a call.
Or Michael, I already typed it out. Bro.